Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We're going to be talking about all things social media today. We're going to be talking about pretty much just the basics of what it's like to be an influencer and what that really looks like. So let me go ahead and see if it'll let me share your screen. This is always the part that I have the hardest time with. And fun fact, you don't have to be tech savvy to be able to make this work for your business. Just going to throw that out there. But we have a couple of great speakers tonight that are going to be giving a ton of value. And I feel like you guys are going to get so much from this. So where's the present button? Here we go. Wow, you have to click so many buttons. Okay. Influencer 101. Are you guys ready? I'm super excited about this. So we are going to be talking all about the basics of branding, the basics of connecting, and showing up as the authentic you. We're going to be diving into all things, how we make being an influencer work. So if any of you guys have no idea who I am, which I feel like a lot of you probably don't, my name is Emily. It's so nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you are here. That's my Instagram name if you want to follow me on there. I am a 25-year-old mom to 3 toddlers. It's a lot of little kids. And I'm from Austin, Texas. One of my number one things that I have strived to do both through my social media, through my personal life, through the business that I run, is help women feel confident by being their authentic selves and helping other women to find what their true purpose is. And that stems from me being a mom and getting stuck in the whole like motherhood thing of like, oh, I'm only a mom, and learning to break out of that personally, know that like I am meant for more and that my purpose is more than just being a mom. It's also to help other women do the same thing. So that's a little bit about me. I have actually built an online business all through Instagram. That's like the sole way that I have built my online business. I've been working that for the past 3 years. I'm partnered with a luxury beauty brand to build a business primarily through social media. So I actually mentor hundreds of women on exactly how to do the same thing. So this kind of training that I'm giving to you is the same kind of training that I give to people in my business. So you're going to get a little bit of a sneak peek into what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead and dive right on in to what the heck we think influencers are, right? When you think of your favorite people to follow, your favorite influencers, chances are they are like a fashion blogger, maybe it's like a travel Instagram account, maybe they're a mommy blogger. I don't know. There's so many different types of bloggers out there nowadays and Instagram influencers, but like you can see there's a recurring theme. So it's like, okay, how do they figure this out? Well, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to make it super duper easy for you. When you're coming up with what to talk about on Instagram, figuring out who you're going to be and what all of these other influencers have in common, it's the fact that they have brand pillars. Now, brand pillars are, it's a term that we use in our business. I know a lot of other influencers use this term as well. It's basically just the 3 to 5 different topics that you talk about on a regular basis that make you you. It's the things that you're known for. Usually it's something that you're probably an expert on. Maybe it's something that like you studied in school, or maybe it's just a big part of your life and you can talk about it freely whenever you want. You have the confidence to talk about it. But like I said, it's usually 3 to 5 different topics that usually all relate somehow. So I'll give you a quick example. Like this is a couple of pictures from like my own personal Instagram. So like my personal brand pillars are, I love to give social media tips and like social media how-tos. Obviously we're running this call right now. I also am partnered with a luxury beauty brand. So I love to give beauty tips and beauty tricks. I talk a lot about like what it's like to be a CEO as far as CEO mindset and the mindset behind that, and like basically being your higher self. And then I also throw in some lifestyle stuff because obviously like I have kids, I have my husband, and people love to hear like marriage stuff. So, but it all kind of ties in because the social media, the beauty tips and CEO mindset stuff, that's all business related stuff. So if you can find something where like all of it ties in together, that's even better because it just makes it so much more cohesive. So a few other examples of some popular pillars that you'll see other people have is like fitness. Maybe they're really big on working out. Fashion's a really big one. For example, one of the girls that I follow, her name is Sarah Hill, and she is specific with like sizes 8 to 10 fashion. That is not a very well-known brand pillar out there, which is why she decided to pick it, because so many people needed that, but nobody was talking about it. So now she is kind of taken over that, and she's able to talk about that. Another one is like travel or travel tips. I've seen a lot of that. Natural living, mom life. There's so many different things that you can be an expert on. And these are just a few examples. You have to pick whatever you feel most confident to talk about and what you feel is going to help give value and serve other people, which we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few. But why the heck do you need brand pillars in the first off? Well, the first reason is because you need to pick a niche. Now, I'm honestly not super duper big on what people call like niching down. And what that means is, if you don't know what a niche is it's basically thinking of your ideal person, whether that be you're running a business and you have an ideal client or an ideal business partner, or if maybe you're just a blogger or a basic influencer just trying to monetize your Instagram through brand partnerships or whatever. You have to build a following that's going to be like dedicated and engaged, and like you want people to want to follow you that are kind of similar to you. So, who is that ideal person? That's going to be the person that you're talking to in your posts, in your stories, and everything that you do. And the reason why you need to pick some sort of a niche is because you're going to connect with like-minded individuals that way. That's how you're going to get the most engaged audience, which if you don't know, having an engaged audience is what's going to give you those brand deals. That's what's going to help you grow your follower count. That's what is going to help you build your Instagram business, whether that be literally just an Instagram business or you're trying to build an own personal business through Instagram. The next reason why you need pillars is because you'll be posting about content that you're comfortable with, ideally, which means you're going to show up and have so much more confidence talking about what you're talking about. So whether that be like, for example, I've been studying social media for 3 years now. I feel comfortable talking about that now. So I talk about it on my feed and I can give value in that way. And I have confidence when I talk about that. Or I'm a mom. I feel confident talking about what mom life looks like. Like that's something that I can talk about. So what is something that you feel that you can give value to others that you'll have confidence talking about? And then the last reason why you need a pillar is because it gives you a cohesive feed. It's a feed that just makes sense. It's more attractive. Like everything flows together and it just makes sense. Like I was saying earlier, having pillars that all connect to each other somehow, that I feel like is really important to having some sort of a cohesive feed. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you only have to have like 3 to 5 brand pillars. You don't have to go crazy with it. So if you want, like, I know that like one of the first girls that I tagged a second ago was Delaney Childs. She talks about mainly fashion, beauty stuff, and home decor. But like all of those go together because it's all her style. It's her lifestyle. So if you can find a way to weave all of it together, that just makes it that much better. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to my friend Lauren. She's going to give you a few insights about how to gain an engaged audience.
Hello. Okay, so if you're on here and you don't know me, I am Lauren, or I'm out of breath, or I am at Raising the O'Kanes on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me over there. I'm also 25. I have 3 little boys at home. 4 and under currently. My oldest turns 5 this month. So we are currently stationed in or around Savannah, Georgia. And I, similar to Emily, I just really strive to help women grow their community, their confidence, and create freedom for themselves and for their family. I feel like that's probably what we all want here, is some kind of freedom. So I've been an influencer for about 2 years. I really dove in after my 3rd son was born, working with Small Sharps, partnering with brands. And then last year I decided to really dive in and I launched my own business all through social media. So I've kind of done a little bit of everything. And so that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. One of the biggest questions that I am either asking people all the time or asking myself all the time when it comes to my personal branding, like myself, is what makes you want to follow somebody? Your like favorite people, when you see their story pop up on your feed and you immediately want to watch it, what do they do that makes you want to do that? Why do you continue to follow them, engage with their content, watch their stories? Like I said, all of those things. It's probably because they're providing value to you. So finding these kind of people for yourself, people who are going to want to watch your stories, engage on your posts, all of that stuff. People need to feel like they can call you their friend. I actually have a girl that I work with. That is one of the things that she said to me when she joined my team. She was like, I just wanted to be your best friend. And now we literally are. I don't go like a single day without talking to her, but people need to feel like they can connect with you in that way, especially if you are entering the Instagram world as a mother. Motherhood is so lonely. So open yourself up to friendships and communication and all of those things that will organically grow your community, your following, all the things. Obviously, you want your followers to like you. This goes for personality and content wise. Instagram, for me personally, I like to look at things that are very aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like that goes for the majority of people. So if you have aesthetically pleasing content, that's going to just be exciting to their eye. And then when they go to their story and they see your personality, right, you just being raw and real. Like, I know that there are so many influencers that we can see and you're like, okay, this chick has like got it all together and her life looks perfect. And I can't relate to her. I've got 3 kids. If you are on here and you've ever watched my stories, you've probably heard them screaming in the background of my videos. Like, people want to like you. That also is going to breed trust. Obviously, trust is built over time, but that is the most important thing to building a dedicated and engaged following, is just being honest and showing them real life, recommending things that you love, like all of that stuff. We're going to kind of get into that a little bit more as far as like recommending things and like how to gain people's trust, but that's a little bit, that's what you need. That's where we're going to start. Okay. So what makes people trust you? Again, it's built over time because of your credibility. So when I first started sharing things, if you follow me, you probably know this, but when I had my 3rd son, I found these pajamas on Amazon that are the softest things I've ever felt in my life. And I had found other small shops that had it before, but they were so like $40 a pair. And I'm like, I got 3 kids. Like I can't afford that. So I shared about these pajamas, and you guys, if I would have made a commission off those pajamas, I wouldn't be a millionaire or anything, but I would have so a lot of money just from sharing those. But so when you share about stuff that you love, stuff that you use authentically, people want to use that stuff, right? That's just our nature as humans, right? You see something, this glass, for example, I saw somebody share about this glass and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to buy it. And I love it. So if you have stuff like that, that's like something you cannot live without, talk about it. Because I guarantee you there's somebody else out there looking for it. And if you come on as a friend, as somebody that they like and they know and they trust, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? I've been needing that. Let me try that one. Right? So then that will lead into, if you do decide to partner with a brand, they're going to trust you. Right? So that's where I started. I started recommending things I was already using in my home. And then when I launched my brand, people were like, oh, well, it must be good because everything else that she's recommended to me is good. Does that make sense? Engaging with your people, again, open lines of communication between you and your followers is going to be really important. I answer every DM, every comment, every whatever, because that's what people want. Again, people want friendships. Show your face. Aubrey's going to talk a little bit more about that, but again, relatability, showing up in your stories. People want to know that what you're using, what you're recommending or whatever is working for you, and this is why, and they relate to you in that area, so maybe it'll work for them too. Like it's just everything's going to come around in a circle. So it doesn't have to be hard. I know that it can be uncomfortable, especially when you first start. For me in the beginning, it was just a lot of videos of my kids. I was like, right, look at my cute kids. And then eventually I just started talking about what I was using with them. And then that led into other things. So if you're like a dog mom, it can be a picture of your dog. You guys, just the other thing, I don't know if there's any more slides for me, but this is one thing that I wanted to talk about, because a lot of times I get people that are like, well, I don't have anything to offer anybody, quote unquote. I don't have anything to offer anybody. Sarah Hill who Emily just talked about, shared a video of a guy making his cat dance, okay, that has like over 2.7 million views. So if that's providing value for some people out there, then I don't want to hear that you don't have anything to provide people. Make your animal dance. I don't know. But like you have something. We all have something. There's something about each and every one of us that makes us special that people can connect to. So don't ever feel like what you have is not enough, and then just get on and talk about it, and people will be attracted to that. And then it'll just grow from there. I promise. Okay, I'm passing it over to Aubrey now. She's going to be talking to you a little bit more about how to show up, show your face authentically, kind of get over that fear and what it's done for her.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to just chat a little bit with you guys. Let me see here if I can get on the view here. Emily, can you switch it so that, or maybe I don't know if y'all can see me. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Perfect. I am Aubrey. I am a 41-year-old mom from Clarksville, Tennessee. I have 3 daughters. One just joined the Air Force, and then I have 2 that are in elementary school. So I am not exactly what you would think of as the typical influencer. Usually I think that would be, in my mind, it'd be somebody younger, somebody so totally Instagram savvy, like probably my daughter, my 19-year-old. But I want to just talk to you guys a little bit about showing up authentically, and that this is an opportunity for everybody. So I've actually been in marketing, some form of marketing, for about 20 years, not to completely date myself, but I graduated with a marketing degree and have continued in different aspects of marketing for 20 years. So while social media is probably newer to me, marketing and advertising and things like that absolutely are not. So I'm excited to share a little bit with you guys. All right. Okay. So when I decided to kind of launch a new business, and I knew that social media was going to be a big part of it, because my gosh, you guys, marketing is a huge expense for most businesses. But now that we have social media, it's such an incredible opportunity to be able to market your brand, your business, yourself without having to pay massive advertising and marketing costs. So this is your opportunity to jump in and learn a little bit about it, even if you feel like you're unqualified. It's not, you're not an expert at it. You're not in the demographic that, most people would be in. It is literally for everybody. You do not have to be cool. You don't have to be a certain age. You don't have to be in a certain business. You can find your people in social media. So that's what I love about it. If you are worried about what people are going to say or what people are going to think if you show up, and you're not confident enough to add value to people, you're literally robbing people of the value that you can bring to the world. Every single one of us has something special and unique about us. There are people that have blown up on social media that are obsessed with Star Wars. There's people like that do dancing pet videos. Like, you will find your people on here, but you have to be confident enough to put yourself out there in order to attract your tribe, in order to find your people, in order to make a difference to the world. So you have to put yourself out there. You owe it to people to not hide yourself and not be self-conscious. Literally being self-conscious keeps you away from sharing the gifts that I feel like God gives each one of us. So you can't hide, and you just have to be willing to put yourself out there, because your people are out there waiting for you. Somebody is waiting to be inspired by you showing up authentically as yourself. Okay, so I love this quote. Chalene Johnson, she is a fitness influencer. She is huge in everything social media. And she said, to be insecure is to be selfish. And I think when we look at it that way, when you think, me keeping myself small and not wanting to put myself out there is actually selfish. There are people out there in the world that need what you have to offer. So don't hide and don't feel like you're underqualified to show up in some aspect. You don't have to have a million followers. You don't have to have, super cool, fabulous skills. Like show up as yourself because there are other people that are waiting for you to show up to kind of give them permission to show up too. Okay, how to make confidence a habit. You guys, when I first started in my business, I had probably, I mean, no more than 200 Instagram followers. I was more comfortable on Facebook, still am probably more comfortable on Facebook, but I had to work on building confidence on social media. And here are some of the things that I feel like help with that. It's going to be uncomfortable to start no matter what. It's uncomfortable for everyone. Every single person started in social media with 0 followers. 0, all of us. So, kind of let that make you feel better about the whole thing. Nobody started with a million followers. Everyone started from 0. And some people build quickly and some people take a while, but if you're showing up and finding your people and being authentic, it's going to happen. So, take messy action. You can spend all of your time training and trying to be an expert and learning everything, but the person who shows up and takes messy action is going to be the person that wins. Don't work on perfection, just work on showing up and taking some sort of action. You need consistency. Doing something consistently is going to build your brand. It's going to build your following. People want to see you show up. If you only show up, once or twice and then take 2 weeks off and then maybe show up again, your people are going to forget about you. You're going to be so low in their feed. You're not going to show up. You have to show up absolutely consistently to build a brand and to become somebody that people know, like, and trust. I find one of the biggest things that helped me build confidence was admitting that I was nervous. You guys, if you are doing a live for the first time, get on there and say, "Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so nervous. I've never done this before." You know what people, how they react to that? They immediately say, "Oh my gosh, like she doesn't have it all together. She's not an expert at this. Like she is doing something outside of her comfort zone." And when you admit it and you're not trying to act perfect, people immediately let their guard down and they're cheering for you. They're not waiting to mock you and laugh at you if you screw up. They're actually cheering for you because you admitted, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I've never done this before." And I felt like that helped me a lot. Just feel more comfortable when I got the elephant out of the room. I'm nervous and it's okay to be nervous, but I'm showing up and taking messy action. I'm not going to hide and never do something just because it makes me nervous. You have to show your face on camera. Like Lauren said, people need to know, like, and trust you. And if you're only posting, content or even just pictures, it's kind of hard for people to really get to know you. If you're showing up on video and you're showing up in your stories and you're letting people see kind of that behind the scenes, they're going to have such a better just a more confidence in you. They're going to know you better. They're going to like you more because they're actually going to get to hear your voice and hear your excitement and see more of you. So show up. Don't just post graphics. Don't just post, pictures of your product or partnerships that you want to have. Like, don't just post static images. Make sure that you're showing up and that you're letting people see your personality. Like, most of the time that's what we need to connect with other people, is seeing their personality, hearing their voice, hearing their enthusiasm. And then be authentic. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. I am not Emily. I can't show up as Emily. I am not a mom of toddler twins. Like, if I try to replicate somebody else's their vibe, their style, their way of speaking, the things that they're into, people are going to know that I'm faking. I have to find what is authentic to me and I have to show up as myself because people can see right through that. People don't want another fake influencer. They want somebody that they can connect with that's being themselves and is going to let you see the good, bad, and the ugly, the messy. People want authenticity and they want you to show up as yourself. So while you can get inspiration from other people and you can, find things that you love about the people that you follow and maybe incorporate those in your own way. Trying to be something that you're not is never ever going to help you build an audience that wants to connect with you, that are engaged. You have to be yourself for that. Okay, the world needs you and the message that you have to share. You are absolutely worthy of following. You are worthy of having your tribe. They just have to find you. You're intelligent, you're brave, and you are capable of connecting with people. And I think that so many of us want that connection in life, especially in this day and age when I feel like we're more disconnected than ever. Being willing to put yourself out there and to show up as your authentic self and to find things that make you you, your brand pillars, and finding ways to connect with people. I think that it's for everybody. Social media can be a negative space where we compare, where we feel isolated, where we feel less than, or it can be a space where you find your people and you connect and you find a tribe that you never even knew existed. The great thing is that they can be spread out across the world. They can be all different ages and from all different places. But when you show up authentically, you start attracting those people and you start finding your tribe. So I hope that this just empowered you a little bit to look outside of what you have thought of as an influencer. And those are only the, people with millions of followers, giant bloggers, all of that stuff. You can be an influencer. You can find your own people. You're already doing it, I guarantee. If you are talking to your best friend about your favorite Starbucks drink, or, you shared on your stories the really great leggings that you found that aren't see-through when you squat, like anything like that, you're already an influencer. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there and really develop your brand. So I thank you for letting me share just a little bit, and I hope that you got something really valuable out of this.
Yes.
Emily, I'll turn it back to you.
Yes, thank you guys so much for sharing. Oh, that was so good. Like Aubrey said, our goal with all of this was just to hope that we gave you the basics to help you feel empowered enough to just go out and do it, and maybe give you some sort of a direction as to where to even start with all of this. So if you guys want to connect with us, I posted all of our Instagrams right here. Y'all are more than welcome to hop on, give us a follow. We would love to connect with you guys and cheer you on as you guys go in and, start building your social media. We want to cheer you on. We want to be your cheerleaders and follow you along your journey. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Keep an eye out for some more fun little trainings like this. I have a feeling we may have a few more. So hopefully we see you guys soon, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye, everybody. I can figure out how to end the call.